4 months ago, Chicago was poised to take Travion Henderson to be the next great Bears running back, following in the footsteps of legends like Gale Sayers, Walter Payton, and Matt Forte. He had the speed, burst, and vision to play the Jahmyr Gibbs role in Ben Johnson's offense, a role that is going to be critical for unlocking this offense and helping Caleb Williams develop into a star quarterback for Ben Johnson. But right when the Bears were about to be on the clock, their hopes of landing their ideal speedy running back were crushed, leaving that important role unfilled.
With the 38th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the new England Patriots select
Travion Henderson, running back, Ohio State.
With the New England Patriots taking their dream running back at pick 38, Ryan Poles and the Bears had to quickly pivot to the next best thing, a slot receiver from Missouri who could still help this offense reach its full potential in the Amon Ra St. rule, Luther Burden III. But how is LB3 perfect for this role? Well, first we need to clarify what is the Amon Ra St. role. As we covered in our video about Ben Johnson turning Caleb Williams into a star, his offense heavily relies on establishing an explosive run game that can pick up 10+ yard chunks at a time. From there, he can build everything else he wants to do off of that, mainly a field stretching play action game. He helps establish his run game by using shifts and motions from tight split sets. The tight splits might seem like a little thing, but having the receivers reduce their alignment to be closer to the hash marks plays a large role that I'll cover in just a second. The motion is usually designed to pull defenders out of position, and shifting tight ends and receivers around can be used to create a quick numbers advantage to where he wants to run the ball. The tight splits, though, are designed to get receivers involved in the run game. This means oftentimes that a receiver is going to have a critical block in the run game to help break the back free, and sometimes they actually may even be the lead blocker on an inside run. These kinds of blocks are the difference between the run game being explosive or just efficient. So it's not crazy to say that a receiver that can consistently make these kinds of blocks would be one of the staples of this offense. When Ben Johnson was with the Lions, it was usually Amon Ra St. that was given this responsibility, and he took that challenge head on. Hence why I'm referring to this as the Amon Ra St. role. Johnson would then reward St. for his dirty work by utilizing him as a mobile chess piece that he can move around the board to create mismatches against linebackers or safeties and to manufacture targets for him. And this is where Luther Burden comes in. When you look at his game, the similarities to Amon Ra St. is hard to ignore, making him the perfect guy to fill this role. Both of these guys are physical slot receiver types that aren't afraid to use that physicality when blocking. They both have the capability to line up in the slot, the outside, or even in the backfield, but both are definitely at their best when they can work out of the slot. They both are known for being highly competitive and winning in contested catch situations. But Burden brings more athleticism and explosiveness to the table, and that can make him even better in this role than St. Him being a dynamic athlete that's great at picking up yards after the catch can make this role more than just a driving force for the offense, but into the focal point of it. When Ben Johnson is manufacturing touches for him, he always has the potential to turn it from a solid gain into an explosive 20+ yard chunk play. That's why he looks like a future centerpiece of this offense. So far through the preseason, we started to see Luther Burden take on some of this role for Ben Johnson. It was just the preseason, so we weren't going to see anything like crazy just yet, but he helped convert a 3rd and short in the red zone against the Dolphins, and against the Bills backups, he cracked safety Damar Hamlin to open a hole for Britton Brown's 1-yard touchdown run. And it must have felt nice because he did it twice later in the game when his block on Jordan Hancock set up Ian Wheeler's touchdown run. But if Burden is the natural fit to fill this role, then why isn't he already penciled in as a starter? Why is Olamide Zaccheaus still listed ahead of him on the depth chart? Well, it all comes down to what Ben Johnson is prioritizing when he does his player evaluations: accountability. The key thing to know here is that Ben Johnson didn't reinvent the wheel of this offense. In fact, he's actually pretty much running the oldest version of offense you can run. The difference, though, is he's adding on complexities like the shifts and the motions that are designed to exploit defenders' responsibilities and put them into tougher situations. But in order for those complexities to work, everyone has to do their job correctly, which means putting people in who are accountable and know what their responsibilities are on every play. So for a team coached by Johnson, rookies already have an uphill climb to being a starter right out the gate. Because on top of having to adjust to the speed and the demands of the NFL, they also have to master a new playbook that is more complex than anything they've ever run before. To make things even more difficult for LB3, he had to miss significant time with an injury, and he was pulled off the field for not knowing the plays. During that time, Olamide Zaccheaus did what veterans that stick around this league are supposed to do. He showed up knowing the playbook, he built a strong relationship with the starting quarterback, and he consistently made plays with the opportunities that he was given. It's not really surprising that he's going to be the week 1 starter in the slot. He's earned Caleb and Ben Johnson's trust. But that doesn't mean this is a lost season for LB3. Zaccheaus signed a $1.5 million deal to join his 4th team in 7 years for a reason. As Burton starts to prove himself more in practice by cutting out mistakes and showing what he's capable of bringing to this offense, eventually the Bears second rounder is going to get a chance at the starting spot. And when he does, I just hope you have him stashed away on your fantasy team. But with all these young guys starting to snatch up key roles, what does that mean for the future of highly paid fan favorites like Cole Kmet and DJ Moore? Well, that's what we're going to be covering in our next video. But until that one comes out, you can always watch our video where we lay out how Ben Johnson is going to turn Caleb into a superstar. You can click on that one right here. Thank you so much for watching. I am Ms. Wolf from the RFL Show, and I'll see you in the next video.